Hey, what's up guys? This is Dax and thank you for joining me on this video. When I first started my tattoo shop 5 years ago, I didn't know anything about how to fill that place up with clients. I eventually started to invest into myself, into all kinds of different educations and knowledge, marketing, sales, advertising, all kinds of stuff to do with my business. And eventually I figured this shit out, okay? I don't know if it's the same way that most tattoo artists figure it out, but I found a way that worked for me. And so I want to share that with you guys. I want to give you a 5-step framework. I call it the 5 pillars of a tattoo business. And you can use this whether you are a tattoo business owner or a tattoo artist in that business, okay? This isn't going to work for anybody outside of a shop, but it's going to work for all the professionals out there. This is going to help you really kind of diagnose your situation and decide on, oh, okay, maybe I should put my time on this for maybe a month or something. Strengthen that so that I solve this problem and this frustration and make this thing go a little bit smoother, and then I can focus on my artwork again. Something like that. So this is video 1, and why I'm sharing this is because when I actually became a tattoo artist, or tried to get an apprenticeship, I was told that I would never become a tattoo artist. I was told I'd never have a tattoo shop and I should go get a regular job instead. Okay, I don't know about you, I don't know if you've had your dreams killed, but emotionally that hurt. I was already at a low point in my life. I was trying to get out of the gang, and I mean, I was broken already. You know, I was hurt. My friend just shot himself and committed suicide, and so I was already hurt, and this dude kicked me while I was on the ground. And at that moment, I used that to fuel me and say, okay, I know I can do this. And I'll prove to you that I can fucking do this, and I will be a great artist. And at the same time, I made the decision to be the opposite of what that guy did. I didn't want to make another tattoo artist feel that way and kill their dreams. Okay, I wanted to be the change that I wanted back then. I wanted to be able to encourage somebody and help somebody that is really serious about what they're trying to do, and they want to grow into it and really make the most out of it. So that's what this is about. Let's get into it. Let's make sure everybody got their paper and pen. Drop a comment. Let me make sure that you got that. I'll give you 1 minute to run and grab that right now, all right? And if you got any distractions, try to turn them off. You're gonna want your full focus on this. This video might be like 30 minutes. I don't know yet. We'll see. All right, so if everybody's ready, I hope you are, let's move on. So how it breaks down is the first pillar is lead generation. I'm gonna tell you what that is in a second, but let me get through with this. So what is the second one? Okay, the second pillar is going to be nurture. Okay, this is the nurture pillar. The third pillar is going to be the conversion pillar. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what that is in the third video. The fourth video is going to be, here, we'll put it outside. The fourth video and the fourth pillar is going to be delivery, okay? This is just a hint. This is where your artwork and the quality of your tattoos comes into play. And it's not the full pillar. Just to give you an idea of how small of a piece, not to say that it's not important, because artwork is important, but there's so many other factors that we often overlook in tattooing. Artwork is a very small piece of it. So the fifth one the fifth video and the fifth pillar of this system is retention. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly what that is in the fifth video. So anyways, let's get back to lead generation. That's what this video is about. That's why you're here. What is lead generation, okay? The first thing we need, if we want to get more clients and really thrive and get ahead as a tattoo artist, we need more leads. And what are leads? Leads are people that know about you and are considering getting a tattoo, all right? So this is, and basically as an example, this is right when somebody sees, your face, or right when they come into contact with your Instagram profile. So we can get leads through IG, we can get them through Facebook, we can get them through YouTube. Real quick, comment how you are getting leads, okay? YouTube, we can get them from word of mouth, we can get them from walk-ins. Most of my students that have taken my course, they get them from Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, because that's where the biggest opportunities are right now. But you can also get them from, somebody dropped some comments. Do we got any,
We got 6 people on.
okay, do we got any comments yet of some that we haven't already seen? So we got walk-ins, we got live events, we've got biz cards, right? You guys understand where this is going? Lead generation, Instagram, Facebook, this is all where people start to see you, okay? This is where they're introduced to, who is this guy? Who is Billy? Billy the tattoo artist. That's where that is. So that is what lead generation is. Once we know what it is, we need to know your process, okay? All right, so back to you guys. You're gonna want to do, you're gonna want to grab one sheet of piece of paper for each one of these. For right now, we're just gonna work on our lead generation part of our business, okay? And what that's gonna help us understand is exactly where we are, all right? So on this piece of paper, look, I'll even, shit. How about this? Bam. On our piece of paper, whatever. Does that look like a real piece of paper?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so on our piece of paper, we're gonna do 3 things, all right? 1, 2, and 3, okay? I use this in my business. I'll explain that in a second. So, 1, 2, 3, this paper, okay? This is our diagnostic piece of paper for our business. This is where we gotta be completely honest, completely specific, and nobody can tell us this stuff. We have to see it ourselves. But I'm gonna explain my situation, and hopefully give you an idea. So, 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna rate ourselves just like a test or a little quiz in fucking school, all right? Very simple. So we're gonna rate ourselves out of 5. And that's how we're gonna do all of these when we diagnose our businesses. We're gonna do one for lead generation. At the end of this, we're going to rate ourselves lead generation, nurture, conversion, delivery, and retention. And here's the deal, guys. There's no like end point, okay? There's no ceiling unless you put one on yourself. I don't know, on Team Savage, we don't like ceilings. We like the sky, so we like to shoot for it. So what that means is the better our artwork gets, guess what? Maybe we need to get more leads, okay? And then again, if we're posting a bunch on Facebook and we're getting a ton of people in, maybe we need to, maybe that will weaken our consultation process or something like that. I'm gonna get more into that later in the other videos, but once one pillar gets stronger, because we gotta focus. If we focus on all of these all at the same time, what that's gonna do is overwhelm us. We need to focus on one at a time, strengthen it, work on the next one, strengthen it, and as we strengthen some, certain ones get a little bit weaker, and then we strengthen them higher, and then we continue to grow this, and you can continue to grow this to however far you want. Really, there's no limit to how high you can price, how many clients you can take on, how picky you can get with the tattoo styles that you do. Maybe you want to specialize in only realism and portraits, or maybe sacred geometry. You can do that. Okay, it's not based. If you go and do traditional things, I can't guarantee that will happen. I don't know how to do it that way. But using this, you can fill a business. You can fill your schedule, your person's schedule. You can fill a friend's schedule. You can pretty much get whatever you want. Okay, this is the pillars of a tattoo business. So on this, what do we ask ourselves? What are the questions? So the first thing we're going to do is we need to know our specific situation. So this is a specific, so we need to know how are you getting your leads, okay? For example, are you using all these? If you're using all these all right now consistently, let's say that's a 4 out of 5, all right? Shoot high, we want to aim high, okay? We don't want to just say, hey, I'm a 5 out of 5 already, okay? Because if we do that, if we think we're already at the top of the mountain, we're going to stop climbing. We're going to stop growing, stop striving, okay? This is about growth, okay? I don't know about you, but growth is a big part of my life. It's a big part of Team Savage and all the people that I hang out with in life. I like personal progress. It makes me feel good when I know that I'm accomplishing things. So we need to know specifically what we're doing. So for my shop, or let's go with one of my students. So with Justin, he does Facebook videos and posts all day, every day. And here's the thing, guys, you might not want to use all these, okay? Sometimes it's better just to double or triple down on one channel or maybe 2 channels, but it's really up to you. Like for my shop, I've hired people. I got a friend that helps me with Facebook. I actually got 2 people that help me, or 3 people that help me with Facebook, Instagram, and an extra person that helps me with YouTube. And then we got a marketer, we have an advertiser, we have a copywriter. Like, it really depends. So as you grow, you might need to hire people because you can only do so many things at once, all right? I'll get more into that later. But so back to Justin. So he uses Facebook religiously. It's been working for him. He actually, a couple weeks ago, he just started one of the courses, and he said that he got his first $1,000 all-day session booked. He's never had that, and then he said the dude also booked recurring monthly all-day sessions, which is fucking amazing, okay? That's what I do this for, okay? If you're wondering, sometimes there's some haters. Some people hate me, some people love me. I care about the people that I serve, though, okay? I care about the people like you guys that are watching this, that really want to learn something. This isn't for me, okay? I got told that, hey, I don't want you, you shouldn't be profiting for things, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this course, this whole class is completely free, and all 5 of them. I don't do it for the money, and even the courses that I charge for, the clients, the students, the artists that I work with, they get a way bigger payout than the money that they pay. Back to what we're talking about. So we need to know specifics. So Facebook, what are you doing? How many times are you posting? How much leads are you getting? Are you adding friends? All these things matter, and only you know what you're doing. But Facebook, cards, we need to know your specific situation, right? So on your own time worksheet, write down your specific situation. This is how I'm getting leads. You might even want to know, okay, how many leads am I getting every week? How many leads am I getting every month? In my tattoo shop, Savage Tattoo, which you can check out, Savage Tattoo Ogden, what we do is every week we have a weekly meeting. And in that meeting, we have our performance sheets where we know exactly how many consultations each artist has had, how those consultations went. Did they did they book the appointment? What did they not? What did they say? Why did they walk out? Did they walk out? How big of a session? How much of a deposit? We get really down to the T, because once we track things like this, we can see our weak points. Okay? Just like in the gym, this is no different than the gym. If you go into the gym, right? You go work out for one day. If I give you just a workout for a day, that's not going to do nothing. Okay? It's a lifestyle. You got to commit to this for a long time. And so it's like, if you do a workout over and over again, great. But here's the thing. If you're not tracking how much reps you're doing, how do you know if you're getting stronger? Okay? I don't know about you, I'm in the gym, but 3 months in, sometimes I still don't even see results. Sometimes it takes somebody to tell me, yo, your arms are looking kind of nice, or you're looking like a fat fuck, Dax. So, and I don't see that. But if I'm tracking the reps every single day, every single week, I know whether I'm getting stronger and improving or not. And I also know when I'm not. So I know where my weak points are. And I know if I can bench a whole bunch or do a ton of push-ups, I probably don't need to work on my chest. It looks gravy. So where do I want to work? Maybe I want to work on my legs. Maybe they look like fucking chicken legs. I don't know. But if I'm tracking things and I know my strength and I know my weak points, I know where to focus on. Do you feel me on this? Type yes right now. Let's get on to the next one. So Specific. We need to know your specific situation. Then from there, what are your strengths in your system? All right. What are your strengths? How are you generating leads? Are you running advertisements? I can say if you are not running any paid advertisements, you cannot rate yourself more than a 3. Okay, if there's no paid advertisements, you're a 3 out of 5. For example, let me just show you where my business is. I do lead generation, which means I have a person calling every single day, calling consultations that have reached out to our website saying, here's what I want, here's why I want it, here's our reference pictures, and I would like to book with this artist. So we have a constant traffic to our websites, multiple websites. We have a dude calling all day, booking consultations. We have 37,000 followers on our shop Instagram. Each one of our artists, 5 artists, well, 4 of them have, 10,000 followers now? Almost all of them have 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
And we're active on Instagram, we're active on Facebook, we're putting out YouTube videos and all that stuff. I don't do business cards anymore. I don't do walk-ins. Our shop does not do walk-ins anymore. Fuck that. We don't do business cards anymore. We like to save our paper for drawing on. And we don't really do live events anymore. So, yeah. These are what we focus on, but we focus on when we fucking penetrate them hard, alright? So, once we know our strengths, great, okay? That's awesome, but what we really want to know is I think I spelled that right. Our weaknesses, all right? Our weaknesses. What could you do better in lead generation? Or maybe you're getting a ton. Maybe you're running ads. Maybe you're doing all this and you're getting so much people you need to hire artists, okay? That's a different pillar here that I'm going to get into in another video, so stay tuned for that. But if you need people on your books, chances are it's a lead generation problem from the get-go, okay? The best way to get more clients on your books is to get more attention. Because when you get more attention, more people know about you, which is common sense, and they'll come to you. And the more you're out there constantly, the more you have their attention. Okay, there's this one thing that we talk about in my course, Get More Clients, and what it is it's the spotlight effect. Justin was telling me about this the other day. He said he was amazed at how this artist was struggling, getting in his own way. He was trying to tell him how this course really changed his career. And he's talking to this guy, and this guy's just being ignorant. He's not seeing it, but he wants to help his business. It's like he's kind of wanting to run up a mountain, but he's got 100 pounds on him and he can't even lift that. Like, what are you doing? But he's so hard-headed, he's so stuck in his doing things the old way and his comfort that he can't break that and really get out of his own way. And what it came down to, he said, he's like, Dax, it's what you said in the course. It's called the spotlight effect. And if you don't know what the spotlight effect is, what it is all humans have it, first off. I want to say that. Not knocking anybody, but the spotlight effect, tattoo artists have it extremely. And the reason, and what it is the spotlight effect is this. We constantly, especially tattoo artists, we get followers, we get fans. Most of the time in our clients' eyes, we're the coolest motherfuckers they know, right? We're the coolest people, we're kind of rebellious, kind of free, kind of wild sometimes. We are usually the coolest people they know. We're looked at as rock stars. Not to say we're rock stars, but people look up to creative people that are in control of their lives because most people are 9-to-5 people, so yeah. So what the spotlight effect is as we're in this process and we know people are looking up to me, we know that we're walking outside and people are honking at us because they know our business. That creates kind of like an ego problem. We think that because we have 20,000 followers, that all 20,000 followers are watching us 24/7, 365. And that's not true. Actually, Beo, let's just throw some stats out there. Last time you've seen my personal Instagram, about how much people actually comment on the post. And we actually have good engagement on our Instagram. What would you say it was earlier?
9%.
9%. So if I got 10,000 followers, that means only 900 are seeing my stuff every day. Okay, so the followers, they matter, but they're not the only thing that matters. It matters if they're actually people that are in your area that like you, know you, and trust you. And so with the spotlight, back to the spotlight effect. So thinking that everybody is looking at us at all times, that actually cripples us from growing. There's a few things it does. One thing it does is it makes us self-conscious, okay? It's a lot easier to be on a stage when there's only one person in the audience that you know compared to a million, right? So if we think that there's a bunch of people out there looking at us and we're not confident on camera or putting our videos out there, it can actually create, it's a fear. It's a fear of being rejected or not accepted or not liked. A lot of people have that fear. And so they don't put themselves out there. It holds them back from even trying, okay? And it's so easy, you know? Right now we live in a day and age where it's so easy and the times have completely flipped, okay? And so all you gotta do, like what this means for you, is all you gotta do is seize the opportunities of technology and hold on to them and just do the thing, and you're gonna fucking thrive for the years ahead. So back to the spotlight effect. Now, another thing that it does is, it's back to the ego thing. It makes us feel like we got too much people. If we feel like everybody in our town knows us, right? Why would we try to grow and get more people to know about us? Why would we focus on it? We might find out, in a lot of cases, my students have found out that they are not known as much as they are known. And I was the same way. 5 years ago, before I even opened my shop, I was kind of in the house for a little bit. And I was known all over town. And then I got into my shop, and I walk downtown, whatever, I get honked at, I get people all over my Facebook, Instagram. I'm in a small town, so word gets around town quickly, okay? This is also the hometown, so I've been known, all right? I've got a lot of history here, just like I'm in a strong personality in the tattoo industry a little bit right now. I'm new, but just like I'm right here, I'm like that in my city. A lot of people don't like me, but the people that love me, they love me. And so, when I opened my business, it was a huge eye-opener because I was 6 months booked up, just out of doing it the same old way that every artist does. But I hired 5 artists, and they weren't booked up. There wasn't very much walk-ins, definitely not enough to feed 5 people. How many of you can relate to opening a business? How many of you guys are shop owners? How many of you guys are artists in a shop? All right, comment that below right now. But when I was booked up and they weren't, that didn't feel well. That didn't feel good to me. Okay, it kind of felt like I had 5 kids and I was neglecting them. I was one of those piece of shit fathers that didn't take care of his kids. So I didn't want that, and instead I started to look outside of doing good work because I could do decent work at that point. I knew at that point that there was more to a tattoo shop and business than what I was getting, because at that point I've traveled to Miami, across the country to work in tattoo shops, and I was from a small town, but in Miami, which is like my second house, that place was way different. Once we realized that not as many people know about us as we think, we make room to grow. And I didn't know it until at that point. Once I learned the marketing, I figured that shit out after a couple of years and over $100,000 of investing into knowledge and mentors. I figured it out. And that was when I realized that there was so much more room to grow, okay? I thought everybody in my state knew me. I thought that I was known all the time. I felt like all tattoo artists know me. But even if they did, I wasn't constantly in their face. I wasn't constantly out there, so I wasn't constantly getting their business. And if we're not constantly out there generating leads, guess what? Those people that could have came in your seat they're getting in somebody's seat. It's just not yours. So if you're struggling to get clients, this is one of the main places. This is actually the first place you want to focus on. And this is how you're going to do it. So specifics, once we know the specifics, we write down our strengths. Awesome. And then we also get aware of our weaknesses. Once we know our weaknesses, once we know like, hey, Facebook's doing good, but I only got 500 or less than 1,000 or less than 5,000 followers on Instagram. And even when I'm posting, I'm not really getting a whole bunch of people coming into my shop, and the people that are sending me DMs, I feel like they're wasting my time, or they're not serious, they're tire kickers, or they want the small tattoos. We need to write that down. What's our weakness? If we know that we're getting people in the DM, but we're not getting them in the shop, we need to diagnose that. Okay? If we know that, hey, all this stuff's good, but we're not running advertisements that are paid, guess what time it is? Time to learn how to run ads, all right? And it depends, there's so many different ad platforms. There's hundreds of literally ad platforms. We're not going to get into that this video. You can do that work, and if you're serious about your business, with this framework, you can find the answers, okay? I don't claim to have all the fucking answers. This framework, it works if you work. But if you don't work, it's not going to work. And that leads me to a point I want to make is everybody wants a guarantee, but how many of us are willing to look in the mirror and give ourselves the guarantee? Okay? One of the reasons why I charge for programs is because people don't take them serious and they don't take action on something that they didn't pay for. Okay? For example, how many times have you booked a friend or booked somebody on a consultation with no deposit and they canceled on you? Okay? It's a constant thing. One of my courses solves that problem. You can solve it too if you really think about it. Get some money down. Okay? Hold somebody accountable. If they put money down and they know that they will lose it if they cancel no matter what, guess what? Something's holding them from not canceling, okay? I'm actually curious, if you're an action taker, okay? Because this is we're trying something new. We're just gonna, in a group just recently, we got blasted, they said all kinds of things, so we're taking feedback into consideration. We're gonna try things new. And we're gonna put this stuff out and just give it to you, okay? We're gonna give you the gold and see what you spend this on, see what you do with this. And I'm curious, I mean, do you got what it takes to grow your business and actually use this framework? Because if you say this whole thing will not work by the end of these 5 videos, you're fucking lying to yourself, okay? This has worked for me. It's worked for people next to me, okay? So if it don't work for you, look in the mirror and give yourself the guarantee that you're going to commit it, because I'm giving it to you for free. Normally I don't do that, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how many of you guys take action. But the ones that do, send me a DM. I'd love to hear about it. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. I always like to hear success stories, and I like to see which people are for the old way of tattooing, and they're not really there to grow, and which ones of you guys are, savage artists, the ones that are striving out there, really getting it, like trying new things, not giving a fuck about what other people think, being your authentic self, getting what you want without settling, okay? That's what being a savage artist is about. So with the 5 steps, you want to focus on it once per year. And what that means is for each one, you can work on it for 2 months, maybe even 3 months if you would like to. But once you know all these, you want to focus on one at a time and really schedule it into your schedule. Diagnose your business, focus on your weaknesses, improve them, and then you can move on to the next step and continue to grow and grow and grow. So I would say every 3 months, you can say 2 or 3 months, is completely up to you. You're gonna wanna re-diagnose your business or just look at what you've been working on and see where you were last time, okay? Write down your progress. If you're a smart action taker like Team Savages, you have a paper and a pen in front of you right now, and you're writing this stuff down. If not, you're going to do it after this video, and you have your point A, okay? So 3 months later, we're gonna see where point B is, okay? And we track that progress. We can see how big them muscles of your tattoo business got. So yeah, once we know our weakness, that's gonna help us spark the ideas. What can we do better? Where can we improve? And the only way that we'll be able to see that is if we're fucking honest with ourselves. We gotta be honest, and the truth hurts a lot of the times, especially this industry. Alright, so this is video 1. This is the end of it. I really appreciate you watching. In the next video, I think we're gonna drop it tomorrow. Make sure you are on the live video. We're going to save these and put them somewhere else as well. But we're gonna drop a live video tomorrow, and that one is going to be on the nurture phase, okay? This nurture phase is one of the biggest game changers you can do in your business. Once you understand this, and I can't wait to share it with you. So, thank you for watching.